We're the Talking Cheeseheads, Ben and Reed, cheeseheadtalk.com, where the Wisconsin sports fan comes to talk. And we're talking these days about the Big Ten Conference, or should I say the Big question mark Conference. See where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Is it 14? Is it 12? Is it 16?
Is it
26?
126 Division I college football programs?
The way people are talking. Expansion.
I love it. Bring it on.
We see a report. We see a report out of a Kansas City radio station, 810 ESPN radio affiliate, which is the big sports station in town.
In Kansas, you used to work there.
I've been not at that station, but I've been to Kansas City.
They're the Gates Barbecue of Kansas City radio stations.
Yes.
May I help you?
That's what Gates Barbecue did.
They just yell at you.
They yell at you.
Yeah.
Interesting. But they are the big station. Now, they also are a station that apparently, according to other people in the area, has been known for not exactly being accurate when they try and break news.
Right.
So maybe that's a newspaper bias because newspapers always want to be the ones that break news.
Yeah.
But what they said.
That's fine. Meanwhile, Jason Whitlock is writing there for the Kansas City paper, and like that guy has ever cared about sources or accuracy.
It's a good town.
Gets in the way of his sensationalism.
What they have said is that the Big Ten offered Nebraska, Missouri, and Notre Dame, not to mention Rutgers, but who cares about them? They're only a huge school out east.
Apparently the New York TV market loves Rutgers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
And the Big Ten came out later. This is back on Monday. The Big Ten comes out later and says no. Nebraska says no. Missouri says no. Notre Dame says, I'm too elite to answer your question.
Yep.
Rutgers says no. Big 12 Conference says no.
Notre Dame was in Mass, actually.
Yeah, they were too busy confessing or praying.
Right.
So where does that leave us? The Big Ten, nobody's going to say anything until it actually comes down. Jim Delaney originally said 12 to 18 months, so he's going to decide this thing. That was about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of time on his hands, apparently.
Right.
Anything going down here, 1 and 2, what do you want to see happen? I'm talking to you, Reed Roberts.
Oh, me?
What do you want to see happen with the Big Ten?
Bring them all in. I don't care. Let's get crazy. Bring in Rutgers, whatever. Bring in Nebraska. Bring in Missouri. Get Notre Dame. Get Connecticut. Get Syracuse. I don't care about their academic standing. I don't care about their research portfolio. I just want more schools in the Big Ten. And here's why, Ben. Okay? Tom Oates today had an article in the local paper here in Madison, right?
Wisconsin State Journal.
Talking about all the problems that would come. Well, you're not going to get to see Wisconsin play Ohio State or Michigan as much. You know what happens when Wisconsin plays Ohio State and Michigan usually during the regular season? They lose. Yeah. Okay? It's fun once in a while, maybe 2 out of every 5 games, but Michigan maybe 1 out of every 5 games or whenever Rich Rodriguez takes over as coach, which only happens once. But it's not that much fun, okay? The Wisconsin usually starts off 5-0, and then their first loss inevitably comes to Ohio State or Michigan. So maybe you can go 6-0 against Missouri. That'd be fun, right? And then when it comes, everyone's talking about football. Oh, what? Rutgers is a football team. UConn's a football program. But what about Syracuse as a basketball program playing Wisconsin once a year? How about Kansas as a basketball program playing Wisconsin? How about UConn women's basketball playing Wisconsin women's basketball once a year? I love it. It's great. All the ancillary sports, yeah, there's a big benefit here.
What about
Wisconsin rowing against the Missouri crew team?
We crush them. What about the idea that 16, the Big East has done 16 in basketball?
Big East is great. Who doesn't love the Big East?
Well, it's great, but it's a lot. There's a lot. It gets big. I've heard some people who around here and maybe some friends of mine from around the Midwest who kind of, they cringe a little at all these teams. That it's just too much. That you can't preserve certain rivalries. Even, I'm not talking about the main rivalries because obviously they'll work to preserve those rivalries. But what about the secondary rivalries? What about Wisconsin-Purdue? Okay?
Who cares?
But it's been around for years.
From a football standpoint, do you really get excited when you see Purdue on the schedule? Like, here comes Purdue.
If Joe Tiller's out there coaching, a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying you're going to lose contact with some of the corners of the Big Ten.
Who would you rather play once a year, Nebraska or Purdue?
Well, I'm sure Nebraska.
Okay. But Who would you rather play once a year, Notre Dame or Purdue?
Well, I guess Notre Dame.
All right.
But who's going to make up these divisions? What are we looking at? North, South? Because you got to try and balance it out.
I think it would be East, West.
But if it's East, West, then you put, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan all in the same division? And they'll all play each other every year?
Yeah, but come basketball season, that's the crappy side.
Well, maybe. Ohio State's pretty good.
Yeah, I suppose. You have Michigan State over there.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna have to try and balance it out a little bit, depending on who's in. Now, if Nebraska's in, obviously, or Notre Dame on the west side of the bracket, or not the bracket, but the conference.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I can see that. I'm a little wary of 16. I'm much more comfortable. Ideally, I'd want Notre Dame in 12, and that's it.
So sure, but that's not going to happen.
No.
I don't think Notre Dame's going to come.
No. Why am I even talking about Notre Dame?
I
They're
don't
not
know.
gonna come. They want me to talk about them because they're elitist.
We'll see how much NBC pays them on their next contract when they can't make a bowl game. And then maybe they'll be like, hey, any conferences looking for a pretty cool Catholic university? Believes in God, but in a hip way.
We got a good fight song. Got a little Jesus in the end zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Little JC.
Like a little beer with our church.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So I'm not counting on that at all. And I don't even know when their contract with NBC is up. Is that
not soon enough?
Not soon
for
enough.
NBC.
Not for this.
Poor NBC.
I know. Not soon enough for NBC, but not soon enough for this Big Ten expansion either.
Right.
So that's when they're going to start to say, "Oh, wait a minute." And
Yeah.
here's the other thing too that throughout this whole thing that's come up that I'm just flabbergasted at is the number of figures that are being thrown out there via the Big Ten network.
Yeah.
Which a channel whose programming absolutely
blows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good word. Save the games.
Yeah.
Save the games you want to watch. So you're going to tell me they're really giving schools that much money over games? I mean, I can't believe it. And they're not even the big games. They put the big games on ESPN and ABC.
Right.
The biggest games.
Yeah.
I mean, where's that coming from?
I don't
How is
know.
that even possible?
I have no clue. But I'm completely with you. I
What's
can't.
their business
It's already
model?
started turning a profit. I
Yeah.
have no understanding how that could be the case.
Have you seen that Friday Night Tailgater show? Have you even subjected yourself to it?
I lose track of where it is on my DirecTV every football season because I don't watch it for 6 months and then it gets moved and then come football season I'm like, oh, Wisconsin's playing Central Florida on the Big Ten Network and I can't find it.
Yeah. You have to check your local listings again.
Yeah. But I mean, it's probably got on every cable system and they all probably charged a little bit extra.
I guess.
And that's how it works.
I mean, that is amazing. That's a beautiful business model.
It
Try
is.
that.
Yeah. Well, how can FSN Wisconsin make money other than outside Brewers and
But
Bucks
they have
games?
tons of games. That's the thing. I mean, they have games on. I mean, you take a 365-day year. What do they have games on?
Yeah, but they're
Probably-
Brewers games.
Well, still though, that's going to garner a rating at least.
Well, the Big
At
Ten
least
has
it's
plenty of
programmed.
games too.
They have the best damn sports show. Period.
I don't even think that's still on,
I
is
don't
it?
think so either. Why?
Because it's not good. It's not that we're the best damn sports show. That's why.
Period.
So I think it's good, is what I'm trying to say, Ben.
You want 16?
I want more. 20. Can we get Canadian universities down?
It's too many. Do they have universities in Canada? It's
Oh,
too
yeah.
many.
Yeah.
I'm all for 12. Okay, 14 sans Notre Dame. If Nebraska and Missouri actually came to the Big Ten, I'd be pumped.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of focused on Notre Dame here, but Nebraska and Missouri.
That's good.
Missouri can
What's wrong with Kansas?
jump up and bite you every now and then. Well, Kansas would be great, but I doubt that that's going to.
There's the 3 schools right there. Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas.
Well,
all
that'd
in
be-
Wisconsin's side.
Yeah, that'd be outstanding.
Yeah.
Going down basketball too with Kansas. That'd be
Right.
great. We are the Talking Cheeseheads, Ben and Reed. There we go. We've solved Big Ten expansion.
Yeah. But if you want to sneak Rutgers and
Rutgers.
Georgia Tech in there.
Rutgers, the biggest university nobody cares about. You
Yeah,
know?
it is big. It's like 45,000
I know.
kids.
A lot of people on the East Coast.
Yeah. All those kids from Jersey Shore go to Rutgers. Yo, here's what I'm into. I'm into making out with chicks. I'm into drinking. I'm into partying. That's who if we go to Rutgers UW games, Ben, that's who we can hang out with. Like that Snooki or whatever her name is.
I think we'll totally hang out
With Snooki.
with kids from the Jersey
And
Shore.
the situation.
As I said, we're the Talking Cheeseheads. Just allow yourself to dream.
He's what I'm into. I'm into Big Ten expansion.
Cheeseheadtalk.com.
Okay.